Hi and welcome to another Move Film interview. I have Ali Asgari, the director of farda or Until Tomorrow with me, and we are going to ask him some question about his latest work. Hello, Ali. Would you please introduce yourself to us and talk a little bit about farda or Until Tomorrow?
Hello, my name is Ali Asgari. I'm the director and co-writer of Until Tomorrow, which is a feature film. The film is talking about a young girl who has decided to have a child without the parents. The parents know about it, and the film is about the day that the parents want to visit her, and so she want to find someone to take care of the baby for one day. That's the whole thing about the film. And the film has been shot 2 years ago in Iran. The whole story happens in Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. And yeah, and the film has been premiered in Berlinale in 2022.
There are some
Uh,
aspects of this film that it's not easily understandable for audience outside Iran, especially European or Western audiences. For example, the whole idea that why does she need to hide that she is a single parent, she has a baby, or for example, the apartment she tries to book a room in a motel, but she's not allowed to do that because we know that in Iran a single woman need a permit to even rent a room in a motel, but Western audience do not know that. How do you care to explain a little bit about this side of the story and clarify some of these aspects for the Western audience? Could you do that, please, and explain it a bit?
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are quite understandable, as you said, for Iranian, or I can say even Middle Eastern audience, especially because we know that um, how hard it is for a woman to have a child without the parent, without the permission of the parents. But this is not something that is for European culture is not that normal. But I think after so many years of films that have been in many European countries, that also the European audience is aware of the situation in the Middle East or in Iran even. And this is the thing that I can say, even in some European countries, still it's not allowed that a girl without the permission of the parents of the have a child. For instance, in some countries, uh, still in even in European countries, it still is the same. I showed the film in many European countries, and the film has been accepted a lot and have been um, um, and that's the thing is that we are living in a society. This is the what I can say. We're living in a society that is not like 25 years ago. Because 25 years ago or 20 years ago, the people around the world were not that close together. Nowadays, the people around the world are close together after this digitalization of the world, and the people are. We know very fast about one thing that happens in, for instance, in India or in Europe. So I think that the European, also the Western audience, also is aware of about the limitation of the, I can say, woman, especially in Eastern countries. So I wasn't that worried during making this film. I was not that worried about this situation, but Um for some other aspects of the film, I try to explain a little bit in the film, as you said, for instance, about the hotel scenes that the girl is talking about. I try to do it as a like a humoristic way, you know. I didn't. The fact is that when I want to make film, I try to tell a story first of all, and through the story, I say some other things. So that's very important for me when I make a film. I first of all I tell the story, and through the story, I connect with the audience. And when I have the audience attraction, so I can also raise some question about the situation and that we live in, and how maybe sometimes some answers even about the situation that I'm explaining to the audience. So as much as it is connected with the story, I try to put some strange thing also in the film. That the hotel scene is one of those that you already mentioned.
You already said in one of your interviews that you try to avoid censorship by doing the right thing. And as a person who lived in Europe, studied in Europe, who you are really focused on the subjects that are, let's say, taboos in Iran. Your previous work, Disappearance, which I think we can call until tomorrow the a spiritual successor to that one, a spiritual sequel to that film, was also about such situations and problems in Iranian society, like premarital sex. And this one, your current work is about having a child outside marriage. Why do you choose taboos to make your films, which are, as you said, are about to express a situation? Why do you like to work on these subject and these things that are taboos in Iran?
The fact is that I'm not basically trying to talk about just taboos. It's about the situation more than that. It's about inequality that exists in the society. Uh, uh, I've been raised in a very traditional family, always, and I've been always witnessing all these problems between my family, my father, my sisters. It was in a way that I can say it's a reflection of how I am feeling about the situation. And the fact is that w- I cannot say that I'm a committed filmmaker. I try to express just myself, my because I believe that whatever I do, or even of course all the filmmakers do, it's about themselves. So what I do, it's about me, my family, my personal life, my experiences. Maybe I've been living in all these limitations and all these taboos. And when I want to make film, I like to talk about the things that I'm connected, that I know about them, and I've been touched by them. So it's very difficult for me to make a film about the things that I am not aware of. That's why when I make film, is it's about that. First, last year I've been invited to make a film in Netherlands, and while I was talking with my producer, I said I can come there physically and make a film physically, a film in Netherlands, but mentally I'm not prepared to make a film about Dutch people or about the situation like that. As for making film in Iran, is still like that because my films are I can say, are talking about the cultures, about the situation, about the society, about uh, the 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 place of the human being in the society, in a restricted society, that there are a lot of inequality, that in this society there are a lot of inequality existing. And as a filmmaker, as a social filmmaker, I really It just comes and I just write that. But I try just to do it as best as possible. I try to make it as best as possible to be close to the reality of the society, and especially in Until Tomorrow, I try to do it in a way that also the audience can connect it. I didn't want to make a really dark film. My first film was a little bit dark, but this film was not for me that dark. It's a film. There are a lot of hopes in the film. There are a lot of humor in the film. So that's why I'm just trying to tell this kind of story in the best way possible.
Another question, it's not your first work with Sadaf Asgari. Why do you keep work with her as your lead actress?
To be honest, for the first film that I made with her, I tried to. I had a long casting process. I had seen just around 100 girls, but I was not convinced by them, and I didn't have. I didn't think about Sadaf as the main actress. But after seeing all these girls, I was not convinced because I wanted a girl with the special eyes, because the eyes in the film, in my film, talking a lot. And in my film, there are a lot of moments of silence, and I was really looking for someone who can transfer these moments. And at the end, I just talked with her, and I improvised a little bit with her, and I saw that she's really talented and she could do it. She really liked to be an actress before she started to do some classes in acting. But I didn't think about her first. But when I saw her, when I talked with her, I was quite convinced that she can play the main role for the first film. But for the second film, I wrote the script based on her because I knew her very well. I knew how she can act in the film, and I was not that worried about her. And she has a very special uh, level of acting, and especially her facial. And I think I could not find a better actress for this role rather than her.
For the last questions, is there anything you want to tell to your audience, to your European audience? Is there anything you want to add or anything else? Just a direct speech with your audience.
Uh, the thing is that I'm interested to talk about is that the Western audience has been always watching the films about Iranian films, or most of the time of victims. So what I wanted to mention was that make a film about a woman this time who is not victim. It's about a fighter, about a woman who is challenging for herself, the woman who is fighting for inequality, and the woman who at the end tries and decides to do what she believes is right. And that's the thing that I really wanted the your audience think about this, and that this is very important for me when someone watches the film. Watch the film from this point of view.
Thank you so much, Ali, for your time, and I wish you the best professionally and personally in your work
Thank
and in
you,
your
Ali.
life. And goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.